I am Parker, and I use they, them pronouns.
And I'm Mike, and I am he, him, and whatever else fits. And this is the Graphic Novel Podcast. Welcome to our show.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, this is a show where we read graphic novels or sometimes some short comics, zines, things like that. And then we do a review discussion, and we can talk about a lot of different things on this show.
Sometimes we talk about divorce. Sometimes we talk about abortion. A lot of times we talk about queer issues.
We have kids and relationships, all different kinds of stuff. So so it's a cool show, and we're glad you're listening. And if you like our show, we'd appreciate if you go to
Twitter, go to Apple Podcasts, and give us a great rating. And if you leave a review, we may read it on the air.
And if you visit us at anchor.fm, Graphic Novel Podcast, you can actually leave a voice message that we can play on the air.
That's exciting. Do you remember growing up and hearing your voice, thinking how cool it would be to hear your voice on the radio? Yeah.
All right. Well, and on to today's show.
Hi, Mike.
Hello, Parker.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm okay.
Yes. Got my fancy new microphone.
I know. It's so exciting.
I know. Very cool. Probably doesn't sound any different to anybody out there.
I know. Everybody's like,
Yeah.
why do we care?
Yeah, but we wanted the ability to, when we have guests, to not have to pass the microphone around, because we only had two. So now we've got the ability to have at least three. And
and we were having some mic issues.
Yeah. So that way, that helps things out.
Yep. Exciting stuff. It looks good. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So let's see.
As I hunch over my side of the desk here.
Yeah, I can adjust mine up and down any way I want. Don't worry, we'll get you one too. We just got it.
My neck and shoulder are killing me.
Oh yeah, I know.
Mike gets the fancy mic.
Well, we both woke up the same day. Yesterday, you had neck and shoulder, and I had a shoulder.
It was the weirdest thing. I was dreaming that my neck was long, like a giraffe or something. And I was like bending it into loops and all kinds of stuff in my dream. And then I kind of like half woke up and I felt myself twist my neck, like, like I was in the dream still trying to. And then I kind of went back to sleep, and then I woke up and I was like, oh, that didn't feel good.
I bet. Yeah, my shoulder hurt, and I don't know what happened. I had to sit around at work for 3 hours, and I think I just sat the right way at this weird angle, and when I came home, it felt pretty good. So
you were sitting at a weird angle, and that made it feel better?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that's what happened. So it worked.
What was? Oh no, that's great. I'm glad you feel better.
I know.
I'm happy for you.
Oh, thank you. Let's see. We had a good show last week, and this is episode 24. Working our way towards the end of January.
And I still can't believe that we're almost through January.
I know. It's flying. Next week we're going to have our first episode of
Black History Month.
Yeah. Going to be doing a story by Ben Passmore.
Did we meet Ben? You met Ben?
No, I met Ezra Clayton Daniels.
That's right.
So yeah, it's a good one.
Not the same people.
It's a good book, and I don't even know if it's out yet. We'll have to check and make sure.
Well, if it's not, then it'll be the perfect time to do it.
Okay, I think. Oh, actually, that's why, because I think it comes out in February.
That's right. That's why we decided to do it, because it comes out before our next show.
Right.
So we wanted to do it the week before it comes out.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be like a week early on Black History Month, but very cool.
Which is very cool.
Already read 2 other books on Black History Month, so it's going to be good.
Yeah.
I got some
exciting
good ones.
Stuff.
We need one more. I think we need. But
no, I think we're good.
I think we have enough.
I think we have them all.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
And I've got one. There was a creator on Twitter that was looking to. Oh, look at this! It's kind of nice. I can move my arm around here.
What?
Yeah.
You can actually maneuver around. Like you must have like an empty desk space in front of you. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I can imagine. You can kind of move your mouth without
I
your
can move my mouth here.
sound being compromised.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
still
what am I looking
hunched
for?
over the
Yeah,
desk.
that happens to people. So, this book, it's called God Puncher, and it's by Lane Lloyd. And we follow Lane on Twitter, and he was looking for people. He's a creative person, and it's interesting following a lot of the creative people. A lot of them, it's just they're always thinking that whatever they're doing is horrible and nobody's going to like it, and a lot of them are like that, and it's
Anxiety.
a lot of anxiety. It
I wish that
really
I was
is.
that creative of a person.
So, what's your anxiety?
I have anxiety, but I don't have any outlet like that.
You
So
never tried.
I just assume
it,
everybody
but-
hates everything about me.
but I think a lot of people.
This is
do.
my creative outlet, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm the one that gets the hate mail.
It wasn't hate mail, really. But anyhow, so Lane does this book called God Puncher, and he's looking for people to review it because he was coming out with, I think, issue 5. I think he just finished. So I said, yeah.
What size is it? Like a zine size or?
No, it was 17 pages.
Oh, okay.
First
So,
issue.
yeah.
So got through the first issue and part of the second one, and the art is very cool. Like the artwork.
Oh yeah.
And let's see. So artwork is cool.
Very interesting.
And
black and white too.
No, there's some color in it.
Oh, look at that! I love that.
Yeah, there's spot color. And what it is this Tim Finley is the God Puncher. He has no arms.
Are you saying God Puncher?
God Puncher.
So
he has no arms, but he has these arms that are like separate from his body, and they fight for him.
That's
so somehow
fascinating.
he's one of the only people that's not afraid of gods, so he can go and attack these gods and beat them up, kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah, because like he meets this.
He's not afraid of that, but they need beating up too, obviously.
Wait, I see. Like he
like
meets
that.
this evil thing that's a god,
Oh.
and it's like, why are you not afraid of me?
Wow, I like that.
Why are you not afraid of me? And he's like, don't you know who I am?
I'm the God Puncher.
I'm the God Puncher. And then his arms, beat the crap out of
Nice.
it. So it's funky, but it's.
Is he an atheist?
I
mean, it sounds like it, but I'm
yeah, I know what you mean. But it's pretty cool. So I'm gonna get through the other.
Although I don't know if you're an atheist, you don't believe that there are gods to punch.
Yes. Yeah, I know what you're saying. But but it's a pretty cool book. So going to.
Oh yeah, look at that artwork. I like it a lot.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll let you check it out when I'm done.
Yeah, for sure.
But so I liked it. So God Puncher, look for it. It's by Lane Lloyd. You find him on Twitter and probably other places. But it's cool. This is not a graphic novel, but I'm guessing that probably when he has enough issues, he's probably going to put something together, package it together.
I was going to say do the search engine stuff.
Yeah.
On just reminded me of this episode of Schitt's Creek where Moira, because everybody loves Schitt's Creek, so you're all going to be right there with me. Moira's like, I was asked Jeevesing it.
Oh yeah, that's what late 90s.
Yeah, that was like the first. I remember being in science class in like 7th grade and going on to Ask Jeeves.
I think it's still around if you actually searched for it.
Well, it was like the 4th, maybe the 3rd
busy.
season. So it wasn't a long time ago that this episode happened, but it was.
No, that's pretty funny.
Like, oh man, that's great.
No, that is good. So let's see. Anything else
Sorry,
going on?
I don't like names,
What, Ask Jeeves?
No, because I was going to say the other one.
Juggle?
Yeah.
Juggle it?
But I don't want to.
Yeah,
so
I know
I
what you mean.
said search engine, but then I was like, I could have just said Ask Jeeves it.
Why
don't you go Ask Jeeves?
You could also Yahoo.
No, they're big too.
I know they're owned by.
Ask Jeeves is probably owned by Yahoo.
That's what I think. Yeah, I think they're owned by one of them.
Probably.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah, you could search it right now.
I don't want to.
I know it's not important. Anyway,
all right.
off of our tangents.
Yeah.
How are you? Wait, we didn't even talk about. Oh yes, we did. My neck and back.
Oh, see.
I can't.
I know.
My brain just doesn't function past.
I get it.
moment to moment.
I
That
know.
seems like hours ago now.
I know. Well, the snow is gone.
The snow is gone?
Yeah, we talked about that last week. We had
That's
been
right.
through the
winter.
snowstorm winter.
Winter is over.
Yeah, hopefully
Not
winter's
really.
over.
It's
I
probably
hope-
not. We're gonna get another
I
storm.
know,
You know we
right?
will. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Anyhow, yeah.
I remember in high school.
Hmm.
No, it was middle school. We had a snowstorm, and it wasn't even the snowstorm, but we were in school and the snow started falling, and it was February, and we're like, oh my God, snow in February, this is unheard of. Oh my God. And it's like, now that's sometimes when our winter starts here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely not Buffalo.
No, it's not.
Although
the year we got married, we hadn't really had significant snowfall until my family showed up, and I went to pick them up from the airport. And there was end of February, and there was significant snow falling. But I had 4 people that I was picking up from the airport. I was
working, wasn't I?
No, you weren't working, but there's no room for you in the car because I had to pick up 4 people from the airport, and plus me is driving is 5.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm driving, and everybody, they had this, I don't know, something happened on the airplane. It wasn't like, significant anything, but it was just like everybody was talking, and I'm driving down the freeway, and the snow was, blowing at me, and I at that point, let's see, had lived in Buffalo, 3 years? So driving in the snow was something I just left up to you. Like, I did it if I had to, but for the most part.
2 years, maybe.
2 years?
Yeah.
Well, 2006, I got married in 2 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, so if I had to drive in the snow, I made you do it.
Yeah.
But now it was like, oh my God, I have to drive and I have to do this. And everybody's talking around me like, okay, everybody shut up and let me drive. I can't do this. Yeah. And that was the big snowstorm. There was snow all over the place.
Yeah, there was snow when we got married.
It was like suddenly there was snow.
But then for most of the years that you lived there,
we did not get
hammered.
No,
we got snow.
Yeah, but not.
There were a few times.
Well, and the first year that I moved there, we had the October storm.
Oh yeah,
where it was all the leaves.
Storm.
We had an ice storm. All the leaves were still on the trees. They froze, and then they snapped and broke power lines. So we were out without power for 4 days.
Yeah, it was bad.
But
there was a snowstorm, I think, that year too. I don't know if it's the beginning of the year or at the end of the year.
Well, that's what it was. There was snow because I had called in sick to work that day. And I'm sitting on the computer and I look out the window and I'm like, oh, it's snowing in the office. And the office window, in the back is the back of the house. And I look out and I see snow falling and there's these giant flakes. And then I remember you rode home from work. And usually I think I met you downtown and then we you didn't have to bike home. We put your bike in the trunk,
right?
And then I brought you home, and so you had to ride your bike home in the snow. And I remember I had pictures. I had the digital camera of you coming home.
Oh yeah,
up the steps. There's snow all over you, and your nose is bright
so that's
red.
From.
And that was from the October storm.
Okay.
Yeah. So not only was there ice and freezing everything, but there was heavy wet snow.
Yeah.
So that was a fun first winter experience.
Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then after we moved,
they got blasted.
West, yes, that winter they got hammered pretty good.
I don't think they've had much snow this year, based on what I've seen from my friends on social media.
The East Coast has gotten some snow.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like Buffalo has had
a
whole bunch. I know it's so weird to not hear the lake effect snow warnings. All winter long.
I usually don't even listen to the weather anymore because it doesn't matter.
I mean, it matters a little bit.
A little bit.
Especially for your job.
Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, doesn't matter.
Okay, sorry.
All right.
Did I hit a nerve there?
So, what are we doing today? Parker.
Park Parker?
Park Parker.
Is that like Pied Piper?
Yeah, Park Parker.
This week we read All the Sad Songs by Summer Pierre.
Yes, we did.
I forgot. That's what I was going to look up because I wasn't sure if I wanted to read the book
okay. All right, well.
So why don't you read about Summer?
I've got about Summer. Summer Pierre is a cartoonist and writer living in the Hudson Valley, New York. Interesting. That's what it says. She is the author of the graphic memoir, All the Sad Songs, nominated for a 2019 Eisner Award, and the autobiographical comic series, Paper Pencil Life. Her comic review of the letters of Sylvia Plath for NewYorker.com, Sylvia Plath's Last Plan, was a finalist for 2019 Slate Studio Prize. Her other books include The Artist in the Office, How to Creatively Survive and Thrive 7 Days a Week, a virtual Bible for artists and day jobs. The Boston Globe said that. And Great Gals, Inspired Ideas for Living a Kick-Ass Life. Her writing and art have appeared in the New York Times, NewYorker.com, PEN America, and the Comics Journal, among other places. So what are we going to say about all the sad songs? Let's see. Find anything good?
Nope. Okay, I'll just read it out the back of the book.
Yeah.
In her first full-length graphic memoir, Summer Pierre takes us on a journey through the soundtracks that shaped her, through mixtapes, boyfriends, late nights in Boston folk clubs, and ill-fated cross-country road trips. Pierre weaves a moving meditation on music, memory, and identity.
All right. And
this actually came out in October of 2018.
Yeah, now, hearing that, I believe I bought this as a gift for you because...
With a list price of $10.
Yes.
I try and say that now.
Yeah, and we should say when they came out too. I know we always forget that.
Yeah.
But I think I bought this for you because we were looking for some. I was looking for some female artists, creators,
some women.
Mm-hmm. Found this, and I got this, and this was before we even.
That's right. This was before we started the show.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And it kind of sat around because just never got to it.
Well, I find like everybody buys me books, and like if you buy me 3 or 4 books,
it's kind of
I'm not just going to sit down and read all 4 of them. Yeah. Even though I loved this book. I loved it. It was great. And I related to it a lot, weirdly. Because my relationship to music is not nearly the same as hers. But yeah, I can't.
I know.
And it's so weird. It feels like so much pressure when somebody gives you a stack of books. Mm-hmm. My brother gave me a stack of books that he made sure to tell me they are not for you to keep. They are for you to borrow. And I haven't read a single one of them.
Oh. And we
because it's like the pressure to know.
He'll probably hear this too.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I promise I still have them. They're not destroyed or anything.
Speaking of books and destroyed, there's this whole thing going on Twitter. On the internet, it's made it to the general internet, to articles now. But
you mean there's internet outside of Twitter?
Well, what happened was I saw the post about this person that says, they said, "Am I the only one who does this?" They read these big, thick, giant books, and they tear them in half.
What?
They tear them down the spine in half.
Oh my God. Did that just make you cringe when you read that?
To carry them so they have less to carry at one time. So they'll only take half the book at a time.
Are you kidding?
So they said, am I the only one that does this?
Oh my God. And I'm sure they're not, are
people,
they?
I don't know. I didn't
people freaked out?
People freaking out about this. And somebody posted, look, if you want to tear books up, that's fine as long as they're not my books. But if you don't want the books, just go to the library and order.
But it doesn't sound like that's the issue.
You can read digital copies and everything too.
Right. That's what I was.
But they're reading these giant, The Art of War and everything. These like 1,000-page books.
Wow.
And they'll tear them in it. And I'm like, wow, I would never do that. I just wouldn't carry the goddamn book.
But they obviously are interested enough in it that they want to take it with them. So it's like, that was my first thought. My first thought was they need to come up with a digital copy.
Right.
But yeah, that seems, I guess if you,
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know a way around it. So did you see people that were, did you see anybody that said, oh yeah, I do that too? That seems like, I guess if you,
I didn't want to go through
if you like, it sounds like it's violent, but if you, but maybe they don't, maybe there's just, they just rip it.
Oh,
I can't imagine
they probably
that's
take
easy.
A knife down the spine and
like
cut it.
Rebind it and into, they don't do that. They just rip it. Yeah. But once you rip it, like, now the pages are falling everywhere. Like, it doesn't seem
they must have to do it at a spot, because if it's a big book like that, it has multiple sewn, or if it's glued, then it really doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter either way. It's
the pages still start to fall off.
It's still weird. No matter how you
It
look at
is
it, it's
very
a weird thing.
strange.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I wouldn't do that ever. I mean, I
I
don't
wonder
like.
if they did it and
I don't
somebody in
like
public
folding
saw
books
them like on a
open.
bus or something, and they were like, "What are you?
I don't like
What
folding
happened to the
books
other half of
open
your
so
book?"
their spine bends. I mean,
I
so I
know.
could never do that.
I know. I'm surprised that you can even talk about it without
Summer Pierre's
crying or
book is
something.
not that thick.
No.
Just so you know.
That's not why we're talking about
No.
this. No. It's-
So the basic story is it starts out. She's talking about mixtapes. She's an adult now, and she goes and pulls out this box in her basement or wherever it is. And
she's an adult now.
well, yeah,
She's
and
an adult in the book.
well, that's
she
what I
doesn't even
mean.
talk about her childhood.
That's what she's talking about when she was, a teenager, and she pulls out these mixtapes, and she talks about the mixtapes, and how, what they meant to her at the time, and she's trying to think back and say, okay, what did this mean to me, and how mixtapes were cool, and how you would make them for other people with songs that you thought they would like because they were songs that you liked. And the beginning of it, I'm like, I don't quite get all this. I'm not sure if the whole book is like this. It's going to be kind of funky. So I wasn't too sure. And then she has like these detailed pages, like showing the mixtapes, and then the name, the artist, and then every song.
How they actually looked.
And like detailed, like whole pages. It's like dozens and dozens of names.
Did you read them?
And
I'm just
Summer,
curious.
I apologize, but I could not read all that stuff.
I started to
skim through
but
them,
none of them were like I didn't listen to that music.
Right.
And
right.
so and honestly, I probably have heard some. I'm sure you have heard some of the songs too, but it didn't connect to me like I wasn't. But not to say that like she shouldn't have put that, because I thought it was awesome.
Well, and her artwork is extremely detailed.
Oh yes,
extremely detailed.
I loved it.
I mean,
black and white
the
too.
cover. I mean, there's so much detail in
Mm-hmm.
it, and she does tons of backgrounds and everything. It's not like just a simple picture of somebody
Absolutely.
sitting there. Like there's details in the background. Sometimes there's not, because it's what the picture's trying to tell.
Yeah.
But
there was a lot of time and energy put into this.
A ton of it, and
I mean, as are most of the books
that
we read. But I'm
now
just
that
like,
was something going back to October.
I feel guilty when I see her
Mm-hmm.
mixtapes and the detail that she put into them.
No, I know.
I did, look and appreciate, but I didn't connect to it because I didn't listen to those songs.
And that goes
like
back.
The Beatles were on there, so
Mm-hmm.
I see that, and it's okay. Yeah, I know.
And that goes back to, again, somebody just posted again, somebody else. Please take the time to read my book and look at the pictures. And they wrote, they go, I know some people say they read books over and over and over. They're like, but somebody spent a lot of time doing this, and I get that, but.
Well, I mean,
but
was this a graphic novel?
It doesn't matter. Comics of any kind.
So you're saying that they do graphic novels or comics?
I don't remember which one, but they want people to just appreciate all the hard work that went into it. See, but when you're watching a movie, let's say you go to a show.
Okay.
You can't stop it.
You go to a show. That's so funny. Most people don't say that. Yeah. Go ahead.
You go to a movie theater.
Yeah.
You can't stop it and say, oh, wow, look at that amazing. Oh, there it goes. I mean, it's gone.
I think
and somebody spent a lot of time doing that between thinking about it and filming it,
but it's
and
different.
editing it.
You're comparing apples and oranges. I feel like here
it's the same kind of story. It's a storytelling.
No, I mean, I see where you're coming from. I completely see where you're coming from, because you're right. There's a lot of work that goes into hours and hours. I mean, hours of time spent on something that lasts for
look at animation,
an hour
and
a half.
Think about that.
Absolutely. And the tiny details and all the little things that sometimes nobody even notices when they're at the movies watching it, but you watch it 100 times and you notice the little things sometimes.
Read a book 100 times and you'll see many of those details.
But when you're watching a movie, it is in real time. A book, you can stare at the same page for an hour. You could.
You could.
But I That's not the way I read. I can't read that way.
Mm-mm.
I can't read a page because if I'm into the book, I want to see what's happening next. And I think that if you are a good writer, you want them to want to turn the page and see what's coming next.
Exactly.
But as with most good books, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back and look over things again. I do find it hard in graphic novels especially, and that's partly probably why you think I read them so fast. I find it hard to focus on the drawings a lot of times.
Well, you know what?
I mean, I do look at them because it is a huge part of the story, but I don't necessarily. No, I can't say that. I do look at them.
You look at them.
I do.
But I do that too. I will read it, and sometimes I'll glance at it. Sometimes I'll stare at it.
But I definitely go to the words. I always go to the words first.
Yeah, I know it's tough. And I appreciate all the hard work. I mean, without the art, it's just a novel. It's not a graphic novel.
Yeah, and took a lot less time, and and even the words are art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they don't use a computer, if somebody actually had to write them.
Which most of these.
And she just posted last week that this is getting translated into French for France.
Oh, cool.
So she showed a piece. She was writing all the words in French. The one picture of her mother. Her mother was not a groupie, a road hand or something for rock bands.
Really?
She worked like on stage doing mics and stuff.
It didn't say that in the book, did it? I knew it said she was part of the music industry, but I didn't remember.
Well, it showed her on stage, like adjusting a microphone stand from Mick Jagger.
Oh, that's right. That was early on in the book, huh?
Yeah, and she talked about how.
So I read that away.
She said she thought that it was it looked. She liked her mother yelling at Mick Jagger in French or something.
She is such a talented person all around. She's a singer and songwriter.
Well, yeah, so that's the story goes on to do all that.
Right. Let's go into the rest of the book.
Yeah, I mean it's not just about these mixtapes. It's it becomes a bigger story about depression and anxiety.
Yeah.
And all these things. And she's a musician and sounds like she was pretty talented.
Yeah.
Still is.
I'm sure, yeah. But I was trying to see if I could find any of her music, but I didn't. I got distracted.
Oh yeah.
I moved on to something else. And then I found an interview with her, and then so I just went off into my little rabbit hole. But I'm interested to see if I can find any of her music, because she did actually
record an album or two. Yeah.
Back in the 90s, late 90s.
Something. But you were saying that some of these things that you could identify with.
And you know what's funny is the mixtapes. Like she's older than me. My teenage. I mean, I grew up with Napster. The internet started with Napster for me. So my mixtapes were mixed CDs.
Oh,
I think we still called them mixtapes though.
Oh,
but
really?
I remember making CDs for people.
I never did that, but I did make. See, I didn't call them mix anything. I just would make a CD with a bunch of songs that I had downloaded that I liked, and I'd be able to play that in the car.
Yeah.
Or even at home, I could throw that on and play it.
I used to download. I used to put music. I don't know if I should say this or not. I used to put music onto one CD. Like I would plan out ahead my radio show, and I would put all the music onto one CD and burn it all on there, and then put it in. So then we had a stereo that had two CD things. So I'd have one CD with all of the songs I wanted to play that week, and then like the ones I always open my show with the same Coheed and Cambria song. So I would put that in first, and that was one of the station CDs. And then the rest of the music was all stuff that I brought on this one CD, so then I could just click through.
Well, you were a college radio.
Stuff. Yeah, I know.
But no, I mean,
I don't know if I was allowed to really do that or not.
Well, nobody stopped you.
One time I had the radio manager was there and ran in because I missed an F-bomb, and they're like, shut it off, shut it off.
You did what?
I missed an F-bomb.
Oh,
I thought I had the censored version. And you're not allowed to do that on public radio.
Yeah. But yeah, so I guess I was, cassette era, but
Uh-huh.
I never
Never made
made
mixtapes.
I never made mixtapes. That was
Huh.
I didn't know anything about those.
Yeah.
I mean,
You didn't know anything about them? That wasn't
I don't
you
anything
were pretty into music too, so that's
I
kind of
was,
surprising
but
to
I
me.
didn't. I was into whole albums. I wanted the whole thing. Like if I bought
Oh.
if I had a tape, it was one side was side one of an album and side two was on the other side.
Huh.
I rarely had anything that was mixed with multiple things. That was weird to me.
Interesting.
Yeah, but
Well, that's weird. That's
So, like,
that's
when
like
we-
when you listen to like okay, there's that episode of The Office. I'm whatever, where Andy Bernard is like deep tracks only because he wants to play the stuff at the end that nobody ever listens
Oh,
to
yeah,
because they just
exactly.
have those favorite hit
Yeah.
songs, and so that's the ones that people know. And so that's how I kind of feel like that's the kind of music that I listen to. I didn't ever listen to the album all the way through.
Right. Well,
But I did listen to different stuff. I didn't really. I mean, I did obviously listen to pop, but I listened to different stuff that
downloading
not
changed
everybody.
that.
Oh,
Being able to download
one
one song. I mean,
yeah.
iTunes.
iTunes, yeah. Napster was really
but
Napster.
But being able to download one song, I just
Made a big
like that
difference,
song.
yeah.
But that's how it was back in the going back to the 50s, 60s, 70s. You would buy a single, a 45 that had just two songs on it. Sometimes there'd be more, but you can buy one with just two songs. It would be the hit, and the B side a lot of times would be either another song from the album or some song that was a throwaway, basically.
So did you skim any of the music on the mixtapes? Did any of it I remember that. I listened to that song,
there's stuff I'd heard before, but there was also she also listened to a lot of things that I'd never heard or never listened to.
Yeah, well, like the folk music. I'm not a big folk music person, so I don't. Most of that stuff I didn't know.
Exactly, I didn't know that. But one of the things before we had read this back in October, every day she inked another country music legend.
Oh, for Inktober.
Yeah, no, don't use that word.
Oh, you're not allowed to?
No, because somebody's trying to trademark it, copyright it.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so people are pissed.
All the artist friends.
The person that created the thing that it became popular, and all these people are doing it.
It's got to be like a Tumblr thing, right?
Then the douchebag turns around and he's trying to copyright it, so everybody's pissed
because they want to make money on it.
Yeah, exactly. But anyhow, so
do they not realize that people will just stop using it?
Yeah, they won't just do hashtag anymore. They'll do something else. They'll just call it, whatever. And
October inking.
Exactly. But she did these, and she does great, great.
Yeah, I remember you talking about it back then.
Photos way back in October.
I think we do that I do it every episode. It's gonna be really good.
So the book goes through, and eventually the story all works together, and you find out. I mean, she had, some serious anxiety, depression. Issues that she didn't know what they were. I mean, it came on suddenly when she was having a fight with her boyfriend. And, and we were looking through this, and this couple pages here have this amazing art. And you said that you could see what this is. I didn't know these were rubber bands. Is that what these are? Is that what you see them as?
No, she said that a rubber band snapped.
Oh, rubber band snapped.
Yeah, it's
in her in her chest or her stomach.
Her stomach, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then what?
And then the end of the world.
Oh my god! But yeah, so I mean, it's a good book,
I mean, she has kind of this wave theme going on throughout. All of her music is in these waves. Not all of it, I guess, but it is a big theme. So the radiating away from her stomach is,
yeah. So it's obviously something that she.
And I mean, like she talks about just fate, like she's doing the rebound thing, and she's going through breakups, and she's just fucking faceless people essentially.
Yeah.
And it's just like
because it was
the waves.
Oh yeah. Because it was when she did music and wrote a song about a breakup song, that kind of helped it. And then she dates somebody else.
That's how she got. I mean, that's how she got through it. That's how she coped.
But then she realized that wasn't doing it anymore. And then she realized writing the songs wasn't working anymore, and nothing was working. And she finally had to move back home. And that's when she found
Another thing, she's like, okay, I'll do this road trip. It will change everything, and things will change. And
she didn't know what it was, so she thought it was.
She got to California and went, nothing's changed.
Yeah. Found a therapist that finally figured it out with her.
I agree. I agree with her too. Like, if someone's like, how's that feel in your body? I'd be like, like, I went to therapy, right? And my therapist asked me a question. Oh, she was having me do like visualizations, and she told me to picture, I don't remember what, something, and then she asked me what color it was, and I'm like, it's not a fucking color. Like, this, I can't do this. So you just lied. Said a fucking color. I just lied. And she's like, oh, that's interesting. I'm like, oh fuck, what did I say now?
Oh, you said that it was dark blood red. Oh, you know what that means. Hold on, let me get my dream book out. No,
it wasn't a dream.
I know that.
It was the intent to, like, I mean, I thought I probably sound like, I just tried to, I think I said yellow or something. Like, I tried to think of a soothing color. Like, because it was.
But that's not what she wanted you to say.
I know, but I couldn't picture it. And
all you had to say was, there is no color. I don't see a color.
But I wasn't visualizing like she wanted me to, because all I could think was, what is she's like, she's trying to, trying to get into my brain. And so I was thinking, okay, what is she thinking based on what I'm saying?
See, that's not how it's supposed to work.
I know.
She's supposed to help you. You're not supposed to try and figure out what she wants. What the heck?
Anxiety.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why therapy doesn't work for some people.
No, it's just, I think, the type of the person and the type of therapy.
Yes, you need the kind where you lay down on the table and they put the probes in your head.
I think, Mike, what is wrong with you? Don't say that to people.
I said you. Okay, maybe not you.
That's not nice.
Okay, you want the probes up your nose? Those ones that go up into the
frontal lobe lobotomy. That was perfected here in the Pacific Northwest.
There was something about that.
Perfected with quotation marks, everybody.
Anyhow,
there was something about. There's a lot about that.
Yeah, there was something.
There's something about that frontal lobe lobotomy.
Yeah, it wasn't invented. I think it was.
No, it was perfected with the quotation marks.
Yeah, see, there's your mom.
In the place at Cedar Woolley.
Yeah. Yeah, here's the thing.
What's it called?
Fucking Mick Jagger. Oh, Northern State.
Northern State.
It was once the Northern State Hospital. Right. Yeah. But yeah, so her father and her stepfather,
my brother's listening to this and is like so disappointed in me right now.
Yeah. But yeah, so I really enjoyed the story as it went along. It jumped back and forth. It showed her as an older adult. Like, probably in the time that she wrote this, at the time she wrote this.
It didn't do a ton of jumping, but a little bit. Yeah.
Well, it jumped some of it. Like, when she would go back to be looking at tapes
at her
and
tapes,
stuff.
Yeah.
And thinking about
the missing tape.
Yes, there was the missing tape, yeah, that meant something. It was about the guy she broke up with, and she tossed the tape. She was pissed, I guess, and tossed it out. But, yeah, in the end, it turns out okay for her. And
so what's your song? I'm going to ask you. What's your you don't have a think of one song that you hear it and it brings back a memory.
Okay, well, let's see. What do we want? We got a couple. We can say Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses.
Okay, where does that take you?
It takes me back to Desi's on Clinton Street in Buffalo and Throwing Darts with Steve.
Okay.
It's funny. I was thinking about Desi's the other day. I don't know if I heard Guns N' Roses and thought about that.
Probably.
Because he used to make good subs there too.
Oh, really? He made subs there. Okay.
So
it wasn't like some pre-made thing. He actually made them.
They made them, yeah. Huh. But that, and then another one, I don't know if you remember, but on the way home after I got my last test results when it came back that I was cancer-free. Do you remember what I told you I was listening to on the way home?
Go ahead.
Linkin Park. I can't think of what song it is. I as soon as I hear it, but I was screaming it all the way home and I was crying.
Yeah.
And it could make me cry now. But Yeah, it just came on the radio and it was like perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are two.
Good.
How about you?
Okay, so I immediately, when I hear Homegrown Kings of Pop
How
album,
often do you hear that?
never anymore.
Okay, so
But when I hear it, which is never.
when you used to hear it.
No, I mean, I put it on occasionally. I've put it on since we've moved here in the last 6 months.
Oh, okay.
It takes me back to the worst place, but like one positive part of the worst place, the girls' locker room in high school.
Why?
Because everybody listened to this poppy shit. Somebody brought in a boombox and they'd listen to this poppy shit. And one day, Victoria, our old roommate, I gave her the CD and I was like, sneak this in there because it wasn't my boombox or anything. I'll sneak that in there, and I made her put Kings of Pop on in the girls' locker room.
And they all said, "What?"
Yeah, but we listened to it. It was good. I got a few.
They didn't take it off?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
Takes me back to the
horrible
place.
Paradise City, where the grass is green and the girls are pretty.
That song actually takes me back to the school bus. This kid that I went to school with, Bobby, I won't say his last name, used to sing that song sitting in the back of the bus, just rocking out and singing the song. Yeah. Half the bus in the back was singing with them, and I at the time had no idea what the song was because I was so like out of touch with things.
Yeah, I went through, we might have talked about this before, but I went through multiple different periods. I mean, I grew up with like 60s rock and stuff. And then myself, I got into like Kiss and everything, but I got into Elton John and then Genesis, Peter Gabriel, Phil Collins. That was before they were solo artists. And it was progressive rock. Which was popular in the early 70s. But then I got into things like Pink Floyd, and which was also progressive rock and stuff. And then when I met my group of friends, they were all in heavy metal. And like Judas Priest, I remember them putting Judas Priest on in the car. I'm like, what the hell is this shit? I didn't like it. And then eventually I listened to metal that was even harder than what they listened to.
Nice.
Yeah.
My taste in music changes based on who I'm closest to.
Yeah.
So what I'm interested in will always change based on just because I do a lot of copycatting. I don't know.
No, I know.
But
I get it.
whoever I'm interested in closest to is the music that I listen to. So I have a lot of that.
You don't like all
connection.
My music.
No, I have taught myself to not be that way. I've taught myself to step back and say it's okay to not like something.
But we together have liked like Danko Jones.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
And I'm going to force you to like Ozzy when we go to see him.
No, I can definitively say that I am not going to enjoy that concert musically as much as I will enjoy spending time with you.
Oh, well, that's good.
But you're going to sit through Dashboard Confessional.
That's true.
And we'll not enjoy that one bit. And
probably
so we're even.
Not. I mean, I'll know one song and that'll be it.
We need to listen to more because it's next month.
I know. I know. But it'll be okay. It'll be okay. I've always liked live music. Used to go to club shows a lot.
Yeah.
We've talked about that
Most
too.
of my shows were homegrown.
Yeah, I used to see Goo Goo Dolls in the club before they.
And actually, did I tell you my friend back in Buffalo, her boyfriend really loved Homegrown. He's like, "What? Nobody knows that band."
That's right. Yeah, and I never heard of them ever.
Yeah,
Homegrown doesn't sound like the name of a band to me. You say it, I'm like, no idea.
Their CD was the shape of a tire.
Oh,
or I mean, it looked like a. But it looked like a tire.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it had like a tire printed on it with the spokes coming out of the center. And I think
bicycle tire?
No, like a car tire with like
spokes.
The Buicks, you know, like they were like spokes, but they were like they didn't serve any purpose. They were just like the hubcap, you know, they look like spokes.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yep, I know what you're talking about now.
But if you pulled it up, it probably wouldn't look anything like that. It's just what's in my head. But the cover of the album was actually like dirty, stained teeth.
Oh.
Were they stained or were they like gold caps that said Kings of Pop?
It's the same thing.
I don't know, but that's what I have in my head.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. You're gonna look it up.
Yeah, why don't you
Kings
talk
of
for a minute?
Kings of
Kings of
Pop.
Pop.
Oh yeah, but I have like I have certain album like I have a friend who started dating somebody that really liked rap, and so she got into this gangster rap, and so I started listening to it too because she was somebody who I like to follow. Sometimes not the best of intentions, but so I would listen to that a lot too. So there's a lot, like she listened to Lil Kim a lot. And so that's who got me into Lil Kim.
Right.
So the people that I was closest to were kind of whose music interests are who I followed all the time.
Kings of Pop is the third album from Homegrown, and
Yep.
you were correct. It looks like it was Gold Teeth.
Gold Teeth? Oh, okay.
Like-
Not stained. Gold Teeth.
Yeah.
Okay. But it doesn't show the CD, huh?
I don't see the CD.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
I mean, it wasn't that
Well,
interesting.
that one-
I guess.
that one's
yeah,
not-
that wasn't it. That's the back of it. That looks really scratched up too.
It's probably a used
I wonder
one,
whatever
so-
happened to my CD.
Did we have it? Did
I
it get-
thought I did, but you know,
It
at
probably
one
got
point,
damaged.
Michael, I think when Michael went to Disneyland with the band, the school band.
Oh yeah.
I think that he
He didn't go out with them on the road.
I think it was
Homegrown.
he went out with the band home. Ow! He went
Oh,
out with the
don't
band
do that.
homegrown. No, but the high school band went to Disneyland every year, but I didn't go with them, or every other year, I think.
Oh yeah.
And he went to Disneyland, and I think it got stolen or something. That may have been in there.
Mickey
I don't
fucking
remember.
Mouse took it.
No, it wasn't Mickey Mouse.
Oh,
It was
it's
somebody in an
Goofy.
It was somebody.
He was probably Goofy.
It was somebody in the airport. I think he had like the the big book of those giant books with all your CDs.
Oh yeah.
slipped in there. Yeah, I think he lost a whole. I think a lot of them were probably burnt CDs.
Well,
but
see, and
he
that's
was
when,
upset.
like I said, that we used to listen. We didn't have mixtapes, so like when we'd have a party, somebody would throw in a CD
Well, yeah,
or-
see, like
or-
my
or
radio.
or a cassette, and you would just listen to
Yeah.
like one whole side, and that would be it.
Ah.
And then you know
rewind it.
No, then usually you'd.
Do you remember when you had to rewind through things?
Oh yeah, VHS tapes.
VHS
Rewind.
tapes.
Please
but
be
do-
kind.
Do you remember
rewind.
when the oh man, I see
Tapes
this
would come out?
meme all the time with the tape pulled
Mhm,
out of the thing, and like if you don't know what this and a pencil have to do with each other, then you have not lived or
Yeah.
something. I'm like, yeah, I used to.
I did a lot of
One time
that. I had
found
a splicer.
a splicer.
Yeah, so I could cut tapes and fix them and tape them back together.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So I figured out how this is a horrible thing I'm about to say, and I feel like a terrible person for saying it, but I'm gonna bear my. Oh my god, I'm telling a secret. Oh, when I was a little kid, I was so ridiculously obnoxious about wrestling, and there was a wrestling episode that I really wanted to record it for some reason, and my brother still hounds me about this, and I really
You
feel
recorded over something.
I feel really, really guilty about
Okay,
it.
what was it?
God,
Lion King.
I don't know if I can say it.
The Lion King.
No, it wasn't the Lion King.
Your brother's gonna know, so you might as well just say it.
My
'Cause
brother
you're,
will know,
You're
but I
admitting
just,
it, so just say what it was.
I recorded. I took a piece of Scotch tape because if
Oh, yeah,
there
yeah.
was a
Mhm.
if there was a you could
If
just
you had knocked
there
the
was a
tab
little
out.
tab,
Mhm.
and if the tab's gone, then it won't record over the
Right.
thing. So you can put a little
Mhm.
piece of Scotch tape over
Yep.
it, and then you can record over
Mhm.
what's ever on the show. I recorded
Over his
no,
performance,
I recorded the wedding of
Princess Diana,
Triple H and
Triple H,
Stephanie
oh,
McMahon
and
over Fantasia.
Oh, well, that was probably better anyhow.
I feel stop. It was not.
Better than Fantasia.
I mean, Disney's awful and has its issues, but my brother is still so mad.
yeah.
So mad at me
Sorry
about
about
it.
that.
I feel so bad.
Yeah, me too. Maybe you can buy.
I should
Buy
buy a new,
Fantasia
but
and
I
send it to 'em.
need like the newly,
DVD.
the newly
Remastered.
remastered. I was going to say redigitalized, but
Something like that. Digital master.
yeah. Anyway, and so I don't remember why I started telling this story, but also about tapes, because we're talking about tapes. So my dad often talks about all the time, me and my brother used to listen to The Lion King.
Mm-hmm. Is this about the burial?
And we would drink. No.
Oh, okay.
What?
Burial of the tape.
We didn't bury the tape. But you're combining stories.
Oh,
it is
yeah.
a little bit about a burial of the tape. Okay, so we used to listen to the Lion King soundtrack on tape in the car, and we used to drive across the state to go visit our family on the other side of the state. And so my dad would get so annoyed because we'd be listening to the Lion King over and over and over and over. And my brother and I will often still break out in song, Hakuna Matata, you know, and just the other day I brought it up with my dad about the tape, about the Lion King tape. And he's like, you guys would finally fall asleep in the back seat and I would turn it off to put on, I don't know, public radio or something, or, you know, the hockey scores or something. And you guys would immediately wake up again. It was like him with hockey.
Mm-hmm.
But you do have a memory of a tape.
Mm-hmm.
We had this tape of silly, it was like a kid songs tape.
Yeah.
I don't remember, it was just like a bunch of kid songs. This some silly pie. Oh me, oh my, have another slice of silly pie. And I had found it, like we lived out in the woods.
That was good.
Thanks. We lived out in the woods. And I don't know why, but I was digging one day and found the tape buried in the side yard.
Just so you understand, they lived in the woods. She was digging. They were digging in the woods.
I don't know why I was digging.
There's been bodies out there too.
No, there's there's probably bodies.
I don't know.
At one point, I remember my brother and I saying that we were going to dig to China. I think we got like a foot down or maybe something. We were like, yeah, this is too much.
You were digging, and
because we thought we would get all the way through the earth with our shovels.
Everybody does. Every kid thinks
you did that? Did you do that as a kid? Oh, okay, good. It's not too embarrassing then.
No.
Were your parents pissed that you tried to dig a hole? Were you at home? Were you?
I don't remember.
Okay. Anyway, so I found this tape. I don't know how long it had been buried, but no, I'm wrong. It's not that one. It was the Chipmunks. It was the Chipmunks. We had a Chipmunks tape.
Help!
Okay, Christmas time is here.
It's cool when you hear that when it's slow.
Oh yeah, and then it's actual voices.
It's the men.
Like,
and they're singing like Christmas.
I know.
Christmas
we did learn that, but my point being, it was buried in the dirt for I don't know how long. I took it inside, played perfectly.
Yes, but why was it buried in the dirt?
I'm sure somebody was sick and tired. Either my parents or my brother. I could see my brother burying a tape because I couldn't stop listening to the Chipmunks or something. It's changed now 3 times, but I'm pretty sure it was the Chipmunks. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was.
We'll get a correction from the.
I know. I'll get a text after the show goes live. Like it was the Chipmunks.
Yeah.
I was sick and tired of hearing it.
Yeah, but that. Anyhow, lots of music and tape stories here. Summer Pierre brought up a lot of things here.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Did we talk enough about the book?
The book is amazing.
It is amazing. Everybody should buy it.
And it's only $10.
I know.
I mean, this is
how you can't go wrong here.
It's probably underpriced. I mean,
for the amount of work that she put into it, absolutely.
This is
honestly
so
just talking. Not even the physical work, but the emotional work that she put into this. Just absolutely, like you're right, way underpriced because I mean she.
Yes, this is not. Unless she sold 100,000 copies of it, that made it, worth her while. The time in this, there's no way this is like 2 weeks of work.
Oh God, no.
It's got to be months of work.
Yes, absolutely.
Between the writing and the artwork
But this isn't something that, you can't just sit down and crunch this all out because of the emotional labor that went into this. I like here she's talking about getting she would play anywhere she could, and so she's talking about getting her teeth checked by students.
Oh, that's right.
After playing a lunch hour concert series at a dental college.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're like, oh, come back for
the tartar cleaning.
Yeah, exactly. But
during finals. Yeah.
It was a really good story.
Loved it.
And so, like I said, so much detail in her artwork. It's really impressive
Absolutely.
and nice to look at too.
Yeah.
Summer Pierre, all the sad songs. And
I think that's it for this week.
I think so too. Until next time.
I'm Parker.
And I'm Mike. And this is
The
Graphic
Novel.
Novel Podcast.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoy listening to our podcast, make sure that you like, share, give us a great rating. We love to hear back. You can find us on Twitter at Graphic Novel Pod, or you can check out our Instagram at Graphic Novel Podcast.
Or you can visit our website. We got a brand new website. It is graphicnovelpodcast.com. Or you can send us a comment or question or any kind of thing like that.
Yeah, we love hearing from our listeners.
Request for a book to be reviewed or anything like that to graphicnovelpodcast@gmail.com. And biggest thing, if you're listening to the podcast and you like it, visit your favorite podcast distribution host like iTunes or whatever, and give us a review. Give us Stitcher, Breaker, all them, and give us a review and stars, because that's.
Hey, if you give us 5 stars in a review, we may read it on there.
Yes, we will definitely, and that will help us expand the number of people listening to our show.
That's the best way that we can share our show is by our listeners.
That's right. So thanks for listening again this week.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.